You should be financing these manufacturing sites. But if you're too afraid to do that, you should finance the data center, which is next door. You should finance the multi-family, which is next door. You should finance the retail, which is next door. And for all those folks who are skittish on manufacturing, how many of you are now doing data centers? What do you think you're doing in there, right? You're doing serious, high-tech, high electrical, high water use stuff that has no alternative use at the back end. Just like manufacturing, but you are throwing every last dollar into data centers, but you're scared of manufacturing. I ask you to look at that differently, but also look differently at the appurtenant real estate around it, which will give you opportunities in traditional forms of real estate. And here's one step further. This may be a step too far, but some of these are in what you would have traditionally considered to be secondary and sometimes tertiary markets. And then every institutional antenna goes up and says, well, I'll never have liquidity on the back end. I can't do it. Well, I was just in a meeting an hour ago. We talked about New Albany, Ohio. And by the way, for my listeners of my show, you know, it kills me to say this since that's a suburb of Columbus and my son goes to Michigan. But nevertheless, New Albany is a great example of this. It has the new Intel chip plant. It has the new data centers. It has all the pertinent real estate. And in the last meeting I just had with one of the biggest institutional investors in the world, they said that Columbus, Ohio is no longer a secondary market. How about that? That's the kind of transformation that happened there. And so it brings me back to the point, if we are in a de-globalizing world, you should follow the money, and follow the money not just to the manufacturing sites here. You should be following it to the manufacturing sites in Mexico. You should know that last year, China was the #1 investor in Mexican manufacturing to the tune of, again, I'm going to be slightly wrong on this stat, over $20 billion. A lot of money. Follow the manufacturing. You will find opportunities in both that and in traditional forms of real estate, most notably multifamily. And that's actually another one of my top 5 ideas is multifamily in Mexico. And the reason for that is because everybody has run away from it. And they've run away from it because it's peso denominated and they're afraid about the volatility there. They're also afraid about landlord-tenant laws, which is precisely why somebody needs to figure it out, because that reminds me of where multifamily was in Europe 15 years ago. Somebody figured it out, and now it's a major institutional asset class.
Dígame más, por favor. I mean, tell me more.